Sarah and Alex. It's my understanding that Sarah had a video that she shared with you regarding her transition from North Carolina to Tennessee and her background. I'm going to go into a little bit of detail as far as my upbringing, so to speak. I have been a Tennessean pretty much my entire life. I started in West Tennessee, just an hour outside of Memphis, and I was there for the first 16 years of my life. But I bounced around from school to school just because of the dynamics that my family we had going on and what it was that they felt was in the best interest of my siblings and myself. So there's a little bit of that. In 2008, we moved to East Tennessee. And it was very interesting as far as the difference from what I experienced from West Tennessee to going to East Tennessee, just below Knoxville. How it was interesting and how differentiated it was. It's almost like the way that Tennessee seems to be broken up into the three parts. It's like there are three different subgroups of people. The people that are over in West Tennessee differ from the people that are over in Middle Tennessee, the same as they differ from the people in East Tennessee, and it's all interchangeable. And it was also comical because one of my best friends growing up in high school, I remember that he was telling me when he found out that I was a Tennessean, that I was from West Tennessee, the first thing that he ended up saying was, "You're a Tennessean?" I said, "Yeah, I'm from Tennessee." He said, "You don't sound like you're from Tennessee, you sound like you're from the North." And I was like, I don't know about that necessarily. But like I said, born and raised a Tennessean, true to the core. I love the state, I love being a Tennessean. This is where home is for me. I would love to be able to explore some of the other areas of the country. I am very, the word escapes me, but I don't have as much cultural experience and exposure as far as the rest of this country goes. I see pictures, I see videos online that other people have shared. Of course, all the documentaries that people have posted, whether it's on mainstream channels that you watch on TV, or if it's a streaming service, or if it's somebody's TikTok or Instagram, Facebook post, whatever the case may be. But I would love to explore more of this beautiful country that I call home, the United States of America. I have been to a few areas. I spent about 6 months down in Georgia a few years back for basic training and advanced individual training for the National Guard. I am in the Tennessee Army National Guard. I've been in it since 2020, and it's been very beneficial for my family and myself to be able to go this route. It's also helped open a number of doors for me to go into the career that I am currently in. And I love what it is that I do. We'll get into more detail as far as that later on. But the time that I was in Georgia, no offense to my Georgia folks, but Georgia's not home for me. It's just, it's not. And maybe it's also because of the time I was down there in one of the more stressful and challenging seasons of my life. But it was a good experience. I took a lot of lessons and exposure from what it was that I had when I was down there, and got to take that back up to Tennessee when I finished my training. So, Tennessee is a beautiful state. On the west side, you have some of your rolling hills. You do have areas where it's flat land, so that you have a lot of your crops. There's one area I remember in particular is in Crockett County. For any of my Crockett County folks over there, I love y'all. I grew up, a good portion of my life was over there, as well as my parents. But they had what was called the Cotton Festival, and it's just because you have all these fields, and of course it's not just cotton. You have other crops that they'll grow from time to time, but that was something that was really big over there. Another thing that was really nice that was in West Tennessee was something called the Strawberry Festival. The Strawberry Festival was actually really cool because as a kid, my parents, they had friends, they had connections that allowed us to actually ride in the parade of the Strawberry Parade, that happened pretty much every year. But we got to ride in the truck with Tom the Tiger from the University of Memphis. That was pretty cool, being able to be that close to a tiger and helping to toss out candy to the kids and being able to have that experience. Not many people can say that they've done that in their lifetime, but that was actually a lot of fun being able to do that as a kid. Another thing, being out in the woods. Loved being out in the woods when growing up over there. If I wasn't in the house playing inside on my drum set that I had as a kid growing up, I was out in the woods with my dogs and just having a good time. And it's not necessarily just my dogs, but it was neighborhood dogs. And just, I enjoyed nature, I enjoyed being outdoors. When we moved to East Tennessee, got to have some of that, but I could not imagine how much I would fall in love with the Smoky Mountains. I absolutely love it. Now, where I was for the time being was the foothills of the Smoky Mountains. So I wasn't right in the Smoky Mountain area per se, but I was close to it, could drive to it. Really enjoyed going into Gatlinburg, Chattanooga, and the nice part of where I wound up in East Tennessee was, even when I was up in the Tri-Cities, wasn't a far drive to go over to North Carolina and go onto the slopes over there. So North Carolina, I do have some good mountains over there as far as snowboarding or skiing. Haven't done it in a few years. I'd love to get back on the board and do that again sometime. But that is some of the stuff as far as geographical, I guess you would say, points that I personally take away from it. Food. There are a select few places that I can definitely say have made an impact as far as my taste palette. North Carolina, y'all done well on this. There's a couple places over in the Asheville area. One of them is, I believe it's called Blue Mountain Pizza. Phenomenal pizza, absolutely delicious. If you haven't gone there, go check them out. There's also this, I think it's a Mexican chain restaurant that they have over there. It's called Papa's and Beer. Fantastic, absolutely delicious. If you enjoy Mexican food, that is definitely someplace I would recommend checking out at some point in time. But as far as Tennessee goes, I'm partial to the Memphis style barbecue. It is what it is. The Memphis style barbecue, it's got a good smoky, sweet taste to it that I really, really like. The barbecue sauce is just. Also, there was a restaurant as a kid growing up, it was called Sakura, that I went to a lot, and they had the absolute best sushi. I got spoiled by it because, I kid you not, some of the rolls that they had, there was this one that they had where one roll was literally this big around, and there was about 9 of them per order. So may have come with a decent price tag, but you absolutely got your money's worth when you went to this restaurant. They've changed location, to my understanding, and there have been some other changes that I don't necessarily know all the details, so I'm not going to get into that because I don't want to be making any false claims or inaccurate statements regarding the business. But if you're in West Tennessee, what is it called? I'll have to get back to you on that name at some point in time. But sushi, barbecue, ribs, home style country cooking, you name it, I'll eat it, I enjoy it, I love it. We can even have another discussion at some point in time about food, but those are some of the major things as far as, you know, my exposure from Tennessee versus, say, North Carolina, like my better half has probably shared or will share in the future. So, as I mentioned before, I really got into playing the drums as a kid. I really enjoyed being able to just make music. Grew up with music, with my parents and my siblings, my sisters. So we would do shows, we would do performances. I got into musicals. I actually, for the longest time, I thought I was going to grow up to become an actor one day. And life happened. It is what it is. But I'm not upset about how things have turned out with me. I think that it's been very challenging, but as mentioned before, God is good. He's taken care of me. He's taken care of my family. He has truly blessed us in ways that I could never have imagined. But going back to the drumming, one of my absolute passions is percussion. So I love it. It's something that I cannot get enough of. It's one of those things where you just feel rejuvenated when you get to do the thing that you know you're good at and you enjoy it. I'm not saying I'm the best by any means, but I love what I do, and it doesn't hurt at the fact that when people compliment you on the gifts that God has given to you, it just makes you want to do it all the more, and you want to excel and do it much better and better as time progresses, because you want to give that gift back as an act of worship, or at least that is for me anyway. With that in mind also, not only do I love being able to play the drums, but I have also, as of late, gotten into woodworking. I enjoy being able to do crafts and things like that, which is surprising considering how I grew up thinking, I don't want to necessarily do crafts. But I made some drumsticks out of some spare pieces of wood that I had hanging around in the I guess the garage, and so I decided to create them. They're, again, nothing special, but I enjoy it. It's therapeutic for me, being on the drum set, being on any sort of percussion instrument, with the exception of a few. Sorry to some of the other more well-rounded percussionists that are out there. I'm not a pianist. I couldn't play the xylophone or some of the other percussion instruments that you might expect, but I still love it nonetheless. It's a lot of fun. I think music is a wonderful way of bringing community together, and it's something that we can speak different languages. We can come from different parts of the country, from the world, but music is something that we can all have in common. And that's one of the other beautiful things about Tennessee is you got stars such as Usher that grew up in Chattanooga, if I remember correctly. You have Justin Timberlake from Memphis. You got Elvis Presley that is from Memphis. You've got country music capital, Nashville, Tennessee. I mean, it's there. Sorry to my country music folks that might tune into this, but when I was a kid, it was kind of force fed on us. Love my family, but because I have one member that is in the country music industry, it kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. I'll listen to it every once in a while if I'm in the mood, which I'm sure every one of us kind of gets into that sort of mood from time to time. Not just for country music, but any sort of genre that is of your picking. But I really enjoy being able to have the culture of the music that we have here in Tennessee. It's a beautiful place. If I'm not mistaken, bluegrass, the capital area of bluegrass is up in, I think it's Bristol, Tennessee. So there's yet another area where we were able to have something else that culturally has influenced a huge portion of people's musical tastes and desires, whatever the case may be. So that's it in a nutshell. We'll talk about some more stuff at a later time. I hope y'all take care, and I know I didn't do this on our last video that Sarah and I were together, but I just want to to take this moment and just lift up another prayer and blessing for you all. So, Lord, I thank you for this time. I thank you for giving us the opportunity to come together. I thank you for just allowing us to be able to share a little bit of our background, for me to be able to let the viewers know what it is that, or who it is rather, that they are interacting with. And I hope and I pray, Lord, that this would be uplifting, that this would be something that they will enjoy. If nothing else, it may be a little bit informative. And I just pray, Lord, that you just continue to use this to reach others so that you may receive all honor and glory. Bless the viewers as they check this out, whether it's current or it's down the road sometime in the future. Lord, I pray a blessing over them, watch over them, and be with them. Thank you for all your many blessings and your guidance, Lord. Thank you for sending your son, Jesus. And it's in his name that I pray. Amen. All right, folks, that's going to wrap it up for this time. Y'all take care. Y'all have a blessed day and a blessed rest of the week. And also, if we don't get around to it because it is Memorial Day weekend, please give a thank you if you have family members that serve in the military. I know that I'm in it currently. I have family members that were also in the military. I want to say, and I know I'm sitting right here, but if I can stand up and you can still see me, thank you for your service.